Alrighty, so we are going to do a review of graphing inequalities. We are starting out on page 6 in our inequalities packet. So everyone turn to page 6. Does anyone need a pencil before we get started? Okay, grab a ruler, please. Grab a ruler. Grab a ruler. Jack, found the right packet? You're not there. Here. And then you need this. Okay. All right, turn to page 6, turn to page 6. Here we go, ready? First problem. Look at my two equations. What's the problem if I'm going to graph these equations? What's the problem if I'm about to graph them? One person knows, two people know. Faith. Perfect. They are not in y equals mx plus b. So the first equation we are going to get into y equals mx plus b. Now, I'm going to rewrite it. Find yourself some extra room. All right, there's some at the bottom, I know. So we have 2x plus y is less than -3. How do I get the y by itself? What do I do? How do I get the y by itself? Michaela? Perfect. So I get y is less than -2x minus 3. So here's my equation. We are going to graph it. We're going to go through it a little bit slowly just to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So I'm going to graph this. What is my y-intercept? What is my y-intercept? William, what's my y-intercept? -3, excellent. What is my slope? Slope. Jenna, what's the slope? Y-intercept? -2 over 1. Okay, -2 over 1. Yeah. So we're going to graph it just like that. Now, if you were absent for this whole unit, you still know how to graph this. We're starting at -3. Our slope is -2 to the right 1. Okay, and you are going to need a ruler because you're going to go off the page here. All right, here's the difference. Because we are dealing with inequalities, this line is either going to be positive or negative. Can someone explain to the people who haven't been here, how do I determine if this line is going to be solid or dotted? How do I determine if this line is solid or dotted? Alessandro. Yep. If there is an equal sign here, this is a solid line. Because there's no equal sign, it is dotted. So grab your ruler. Okay, you're going to connect these 2 points. And you are literally going to draw a dotted line with arrows at both ends. Draw it through the whole graph. Page 6. Questions? Okay. Next, we need to know which way to shade. So, my inequality sign is facing to the left. Which way do I shade if my inequality sign is facing to the left? Which way do I shade? Isn't it down? Down, right? Think about what kind of numbers are going to the left. The numbers are going down. So, we are shading down. I want you to watch if you were not here. When we talk about shading, we work left to right, because math is read left to right. I'm going to start at this arrow, and I'm shading down. And I'm moving my way to the other arrow. I'm shading down. All the way until I get to the other arrow. Okay, get this down. Now, I draw lines when I shade. If you want to actually color the whole thing in, feel free to. Alrighty, so that's the first line. Now for the second one, we're going to do the exact same process. Okay? Jack, what do I need to do with this equation before I can graph it? Perfect. So I'm going to rewrite it down here. I got to get this into y equals mx plus b. So how should I start? How do I get this into y equals mx plus b? Alex, start us off. Good. Minus the 2x. I'm left with a negative y. I subtracted the 2x, and I have a minus 1 as well. And then I divide by what? Good. I'm dividing by that imaginary negative 1 in front. A negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. A negative divided by a negative also gives me a positive. What do I have to remember, though, if I'm dividing by a negative 1? Faith. Excellent. The sign flips directions. All right, will you get this down? So this equation is going to be y is greater than or equal to positive 2x and a positive 1. Now we're going really slow because there's a couple people that haven't been here yet at all. What's my slope? What's my y-intercept? Armand, start me off. What's my slope?
Your slope is 2x.
Good. And my y-intercept?
1.
Perfect. All right, so that's where we're going to start. My y-intercept is positive 1. My slope, I'm rising 2, running 1. For the second equation, dotted or solid, tell us how you know, please. Dotted or solid, tell us how you know. Go ahead, Michael. So is it dotted or solid? Good, it is solid. This one has a equal to sign underneath. So grab your ruler, nice and solid line, arrows at both ends. And then we need to shade. So for the second equation, my inequality sign is now facing to the right. So what's happening to the numbers as we go to the right on a number line? They're getting bigger. So I'm shading up. Okay? Now, again, if you weren't here, pay attention. I'm going to pretend like the red's not even there. I'm looking at just the blue. Left arrow to right arrow, I'm shading up. So here's my left arrow, I'm shading up. I'm working my way all the way over. Pretending like the red's not even there. Okay? And then I'm going to think to myself, well, this is going to continue. So all this gets shaded as well. And what you'll notice is that the two shadings overlap at some point. Does anyone remember what we put in that overlapped area? Sangeet? A giant S. We don't cross the lines. Don't cross your solid or your dotted line. But we put a giant S because what that means is that every point in that double shaded area will work. It'll check out for both of these. Okay? Now, last but not least, if this was a quiz or a test, I'd lose a point. Where is my lost point? Madeline. Yeah. I have to write the equations. I have to label it. All right, so there's one, and there's this. Now, some people ask me, does it matter if I start with the original equation or the y equals mx plus b equation? It does not. You pick which one you like better. Okay? Questions on number 1? Okay. So I'm going to give you about 9 minutes. And in that 9 minutes, I want you to finish the rest of page 6. Okay? There's one more graphing question, and then there's 2 multiple choice questions. So we're going to take about 9 minutes. We might come together a little bit earlier, depending on how we're doing. Okay? If you were absent a couple days before break, maybe you partner up with someone. But it was there. first thing we should be doing is putting this into y equals mx plus b. So the only new part you're really adding is the shape part. Everything else is the same as that. On how to shape? Okay. So, grab them first, grab one at a time. Okay, so do this one first. Now, this one does not have an equal sign. Got it. Yep, so grab that one first. James, how you doing? Good. -3, good. And you subtract 3x, excellent. Which way are you gonna shape? Yep, good. All page 6, good. Yes. Okay, first thing I do is put in y squared. Okay, so rewrite it somewhere where you can read this way is y by itself. Because the graphing aspect is the same, the only new part we added was the shape. Okay, so how do you get rid of the 3x? Good. Good. Keep going. Good. So remember they're different, one is an x and one is not. Keep them separate. Okay, so write the -3x and then the -3 separate. Then that should be a negative.
What? Oh, so it is going down. Did I not get negative?
It's not negative.
Oh,
Okay, so not correct. So what's the y intercept, what's the slope? -3, -3. Good, and then your y intercept, and then your slope. Right now, okay. To the right. Okay, you roll right. And then on left. No, I don't. You go down to the nurse office, do you have one?
No, they only give blue ones.
No, sorry, I don't. Okay, now here's the difference. If there's no equal sign on the inequality, it's a dotted line. So when you connect them, you're just gonna draw it as a dotted line. Okay, so just go ahead and draw it as a dotted line. William, Diego, Armand, how we doing? Good? Diego, how you doing? I know you were absent for a couple days. You're putting it into y equals mx plus b? Let's do that. Okay, so now we're gonna shape. Now, if the inequality, the arrowhead, is facing to the right, it goes up. So you're gonna start at the left arrow, and you're gonna shade up, and work your way to the right arrow. So you always start at the left arrow. You're gonna shade up. All the way. Good. Now you're gonna do the exact same thing with the second equation. Alright? Let me make my way around there, Michael. Good. Excellent. Which way are you gonna shade? Yep. Good. Do you need help, David? You good?
Yes.
Guys, if you're done with page 6 early, go on to page 7. Jan, how you doing? That's gonna confuse me. When you subtracted this one, you subtracted the 1, right? Good, good. Okay, good. Keep going. Grab both. Both. How are we doing over here, guys? Good? Let me see yours. So it's not a positive 3x. When I get this to the other side, what does it become? Right, so that's be a -3. Why do you have 2 y's? 2. get rid of that second one, okay, you good? Yeah.
You're gonna
Doesn't want it. Whenever you're ready, okay? There's more to it. Also, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. What's in front of this x? A -1, right? I have to divide out this 2. Everything gets divided by 2. Yeah, fine.
so I did I just I don't like upwards, so this
Hold on, wait, say something to your turn. Yeah, awesome. You shall label both ways. Okay, all right, you solve the other one? What's in front of the x? 1. There's a 1 there, right? There's a 1. Now divide everything by 2. Oh, we want to shade this one. See, I shaded before I did the second one. Correct. So you're going from this one, and you're going up. So we were. So this is arrows on, okay? When we shade, we work from the left arrow to the right arrow. And because it's facing this way, you're shading up. If it faces this way, you're shading down. Okay? The reason for that is because if it faces to the right, you think about a number line. You're going to the right of the number line. And those numbers are going up. We're shading up. So from this arrow to this arrow, we're shading up. Yeah. Okay? And now when you're going to divide out. Very nice. Yeah. Want to finish this one? First. How do you do the dot line? So click on this line right here. Click on the dotted one with the arrow. And then click on whatever color you want.
Oh my god.
Okay? Now when you draw it, what you start here, kind of pull up.
Aren't those on the left?
Perfect. And then if you need to edit it, you got yellow arrows. You kind of pull them where you want to go. That looks pretty good. Alright, and then just you need to click back on the pen to go back to the pen. How we doing on here? Done? That's slope. Something's off with that slope. For this one. Right here, what's the number in front of this x? A 1. So that would be 1/2. You did 2/1. 1/2. Right? Gee, I think you probably did the same thing. Did you? Yeah, right here. 1 divided by 2 is not 2. It's 1/2. It's 1/2. So your rise is -1 and your run is 2. Okay. How we doing on here? Oh, that's great. Good, but now you gotta justify your answer. Okay? All right, guys, we're gonna take one more minute and then we're gonna start school over. Why are you using a pen?
Because someone stole my pencil. I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
You're not right here. So -1/2 x.
I'm still
Excuse me? Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Mr. Okay. What's the number in front of this x? A 1, so that should be not -2, but 1/2. All right, the 2's on the bottom. Don't bring it up next to the x. There's a 1 there, so it's 1/2. All right, guys, let's start to come together here. So, isn't that annoying when the pen gets all screwy? So annoying. It's just because technology wants to make our 2022 off to not a great start. Okay, so as Faith is finishing putting this up on the board, thank you for that. Let's take a look at the first equation that she did. So go back to page 6, please, if you went ahead. I'm gonna probably shorten the homework for tonight. These will too long.
Oh my god.
So the first thing that she did in the first equation was subtract the 3x, and you see that she wrote that up top, okay? The y was already by itself, so no need to divide. Dotted line. I'm gonna put some of you on the spot here. Why is it a dotted line for that top equation? Mikhail.
Doesn't have a lot.
Because it doesn't have a line under it. Perfect. Doesn't have an equal sign. Okay, good. And the inequality, the arrowhead is facing to the right, so she shaded it up. Very nice job. With the second equation, as she's finishing putting this up, I really want to point this out. There is a 1 in front of that x. So when you divide by 2, it doesn't become negative 2x. It becomes negative 1 over 2. Okay, that's important. Harder than it looks, right, Faith?
Yes.
Okay, so we get y is less than negative 1/2 x plus 2. Dotted line again. Very nice. So my slope is a rise of negative 1 and a run of 2. All right, fix it if you didn't have that for the first time, please. That's why you use pencil. Right, Jenna?
I thought I was wrong.
And we're shading down. Okay? Things that you will lose points on. Arrows. Please make sure you have arrows on either end. Anytime you have more than one graph, you need a giant S, just like Faith did. And last but not least, we need to label the lines. Okay? Very nice. Questions? All right. Now, I did show you how to check these on the calculator. If you weren't here before break, I'm going to show you that again. Probably tomorrow we'll go over that. So no need to worry about that right now. Thank you. Any other questions on number 2? Okay, 3 and 4. Number 3, which point is in the solution set in number 3? Who haven't I heard from yet today? Madeline, go for it. -4, +1. I like it. Good. We're looking again for something that's in this solution set. What about number 4? Alex, what'd you get for number 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, right here. Perfect. Very nice. Questions on those 2? Nice and easy, right? Alrighty, let's keep on moving. Let's see, what do I want to cut this to? All right, we will just do pages 6 and 7. So forget about 8. Okay, so you're just doing page 7 for homework then. Let's do one of them together right now. So consider the following systems of equations below. Determine in each of the following points is a solution or not. Show a work that justifies your answer. Notice in part A, they're asking you to determine if these points work without even graphing it. How do I determine if a point works without ever graphing it? Madeline. I check it. Excellent. On your paper, please split A into 2 columns. On the left, the first equation. X plus y is greater than 10. On the right, William, you getting this down? Y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 5. So here are my 2 equations. Now, this is not a multiple choice question, right? It's not A or B. You're doing both of them. So now we're going to plug it in. Diego A. Diego, what's my X value? What's my Y value for part A? What's the X value? What's the Y value in this example? Which one's which? Good. Perfect. So we're going to plug it in. So the 3 is the X, the 8 is the Y. Now, if you have a calculator, this is fine. That's all the work I want to see. And then you would plug it in. All right, my Y is 8, 3 and 3, minus 5. So let's go ahead and plug this into our calculator. I want to show the people that weren't here how to do this. So everyone add a page, Control Doc, add a calculator. And all I'm going to do is type in exactly what I see on my paper. So that's 3 plus 8. Can someone tell the people at home and the people that weren't here where to find the inequality symbols? Where do I find the inequality symbols? Jenna? Control equal sign. Good. So the equal sign has the inequalities. So is greater than 10. And I press enter. So that one's true. Good. Now I'm going to do the one on the right. Same idea. So 3 parentheses 3 minus 5. And that one is also true. So is the point 3 comma 8, is that a solution? Yes. What would be an example of where it would not work? What would I see on my page if it was not a solution? I would see false. Yeah, good. So 3 comma 8 is a solution. Okay. Let's do the second one quickly as well. So here's the second one. Now I'm going to do this one in my head to show the people that don't have calculators how to do this another way. So 5 plus 9 is greater than 10. William, is 14 greater than 10? Yes, it is. This is true. 9 is greater than or equal to 3 times 5 minus 5. Sangi, is 9 greater than or equal to 10? No, this is false. All right, so this is not a solution. Good. Right away, guys, we haven't even graphed it yet, but we know that our final answer has to include the point 3, 8. So my final solution set, where the S's, should be somewhere around where the point 3 comma 8 is. All right, that's a solution. All right, and now we're going to just graph them. So my first equation, x plus y, is less than 10. How do I start? How do I start? How do I start? How do I start? Faith. Good. Subtract x. We're going to go rapid fire on this one here. Gianna, what's my slope? What's my y-intercept for this first equation?
Y-intercept is 10, and the slope is negative 1 over 1.
Good. Negative 1 over 1. I like it. Solid or dotted here? Solid or dotted? Michaela? Dotted. And which way would I shade if the arrowhead is facing to the right? Michael? Shading upward. Excellent. So let's do this quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Negative 1 over 1. Negative 1 over 1. Negative 1 over 1. So on and so forth. Solid line. Dotted line, excuse me. Dotted line. And I'm shading up. So I'm working from this way to this way, shading upwards. So this is my shaded area. Okay. And then my second equation. Am I going too fast for you guys, or it's all right?
No.
Good. I want to get it done so you don't have to do it for homework. You agree with me, Jenna?
What?
Get it done so you don't have to do it for homework?
Well, we have to work either way, I thought.
Correct. All right, for the second equation, this one's already done for you. Look at that. Alex, y-intercept and slope. Solid or dotted? Good. And I'm shading up. Good. So negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 3 over 1. Positive 3 over 1. Positive 3 over 1. So on and so forth. Shaded up, and it's a solid line. And I'm shading up. Okay. Do you see where they intersect, guys? Where they intersect, that's my S. And you will hopefully notice that that point 3 comma 8 is in that solution set. All right. So to recap, our homework is to finish page 7. Okay, so you have one more problem to do. Question number 2. That's it. Page 7. And William, the Delta math is fixed. It's good to go, okay? Yeah. Yeah, you have to study homework. Have a good day. This was homework. Okay, page 3. Yep. Thank you.
There was no homework today, now.
Nope, there was nothing. Have a great day, guys.